The news summary, good evening. The Cabinet of Ministers has taken the decision that there should not be any sale of alcohol in the vicinity of the Victoria Bus Terminal. The Vice President Ahmed Afif explained in a press conference this morning that the decision was taken during the Cabinet meeting yesterday and that the licensing authority will take the necessary steps to revoke any such licenses that have already been issued.
That is simply to preserve law and order, and we believe that it didn't happen before, but now there seems to be one or two operators who are in that business, and government has decided that SLA should not issue any licenses and should cancel any existing licenses in that respect.
Vice President Afif also said that the committee mandated to review the salaries of constitutional appointees has identified several anomalies, for example, remuneration of chief executives in state-owned companies that exceed the pay of constitutional appointees, including the president. The committee presented the preliminary proposals to the cabinet yesterday, proposals that will be shared with the stakeholders before final recommendations are made to the government.
It is also a fact that the last revision of salaries of constitutional appointees was done in 2013, which is 10 years ago, and no revision has taken place since then, and it is probably timely to look at that. And so that committee has done that analysis, and they found several anomalies. For example, that you will find that certain government officials, chief executives in particular, are earning more than, in terms of salary, more than what the president earns. And that is perhaps not normal, because there is no justification why that should be the case, given that the president not only holds the position of the chief executive of the government, but is also head of state, which is above all the other institutions. And therefore, there's got to be a structure that reflects real responsibilities. The idea is to adjust, to come up with something that is acceptable, but of course, if it is to be acceptable, it has to be done in consultation with all the stakeholders. And this is the exercise that's ongoing at the moment.
The Supreme Court expects to start the illegal arms and ammunition cases again on Monday, as the fifth accused in the case, Frank Marie, has been hospitalized.
The illegal arms and ammunition case was expected to start again this morning, but the fifth accused in the case, Frank Marie, was absent. His lawyer, Joel Camille, informed the court that his client is still hospitalized and that he had provided the admittance sheet to the court. He, however, stated that he is still to ascertain his client's medical condition and that he will provide a copy of the medical certificate to the court next week. With regards to the Chief Justice's suggestion from earlier this week that Camille checks with his client whether he could represent him during his absence, Camille stated that after perusing the files again, he believes his client should be present in court when the case is being heard, even more so when evidence is being given against his client. Meanwhile, the second accused, Laura Valabji, was back in court after being absent for 2 days earlier this week. She asked that an order be made to allow her to be seen by a specialist for her medical condition. She stated that she has an appointment in a month's time with a state specialist, but that may cause a delay in the case. Chief Justice Govind then made the order and also stipulated that it be done as soon as possible.
The Custom Division is urging individuals who import their own personal cars to comply with regulations to avoid their transport being seized or withheld for quite a while upon arrival in the country. The Director for Custom Operation at the Seaport, François Ali, says that there has been an increase in incidents whereby individuals importing cars are not providing correct information and appropriate documents when clearing their transport. He also noted that there are more individuals who are now importing their own personal transport instead of doing that through an agency or car dealer. Last year, there were 121 cars imported by individuals, and from January to June this year, there were 96. Mr. Ali said it is important to abide to regulations in place to facilitate the clearing procedure.
We call it upon them to ensure that when they import cars into the Seychelles, that their documents are correct. They have a valid import permit. They have the invoice with the correct values. They have the proof of payment, which is bank transfer and cash payment also. The bill of lading. They have the insurance, if they have paid an insurance. We also want to note that it is important that the import permit is requested prior to the importation of the vehicle. Because if you are not granted an import permit upon arrival, customs will retain the vehicle, and in cases where they are not given an import permit, we will have no option but to seize the car.
Members of the National Assembly attended a workshop on radio and nuclear security. This workshop was organized by Parliamentarians for Global Action, an international NGO, to give the members of the National Assembly more information on the importance and relevance of nuclear security. Seychelles signed the International Convention for the Suppression of Acts of Nuclear Terrorism in 2005, but have not yet ratified it. The Senior Director for International Peace and Security Program at PGA, Peter Barcroft, explains that all countries are at risk for nuclear terrorism attacks and must be prepared to handle them.
The reason why this is an issue as much of a concern here as it is in other countries that may have nuclear power, nuclear reactors, nuclear material is also found in medical equipment. Nuclear technology is also used in food, nutrition, in the agricultural field, in cancer therapies, in hospitals. And so this is an issue that is not just important and relevant for countries that have nuclear power, but it's important for every country because it relates to ensuring that these nuclear materials, which can be found, as I said, in hospitals, laboratories, including here in the Seychelles, that they are also properly protected as well against terrorists trying to get used to it. And that's why joining this treaty is something that's not just a sensible gesture of solidarity with the international community. It's also in the immediate, direct, first-hand interests of Seychelles as well.
The Absa Bank has launched a new feature on their credit card called Buy Now, Pay Later. This feature is offering credit card users to make a purchase with the option to pay by installments. This new feature is in effect starting from today and is available in all shops.
This is what we call Buy Now, Pay Later. It's a feature on our credit card, enhanced feature on our credit card, which allows customer to make purchases, do their transaction at any point of time, and then revert on their Absa internet or mobile. They can opt to make that payment on equal installments, which we give a period of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months. And that we leave to the customer to opt what tenor they would like to make their repayment. The repayment will be debited automatically from your account as a direct debit on a monthly basis. And the event that the customer cannot repay, we will ask the customer to come and talk to us. We will see how best we can restructure that facility and make the repayment easier for them. And if the customer then doesn't qualify at all, we do cancel the credit card, the limit altogether, and then the customer will seek other facilities for them to make their further transactions when they do their purchases. On that feature itself, you benefit on the interest rate. The interest rate is actually lower, and it's tiered and on the different tenor, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months, and then obviously then you have your normal credit limit, which is another interest rate. So yes, the interest rate is more attractive.
That's it for the news summary. We'll be back at 8 for the Creole News Bulletin. Bye for now.